Hey, what's up, rail fans? Just hanging out in these parts for the Easter weekend, which is along CSX Fitzgerald Sub. As always, I start my adventure right here at Bartlett between the north and south ends. The block, named Bartlett itself, is named after the community located between the towns of Oglethorpe and Ideal, Georgia. I know there are other locations I can go to, but I have been asked all the time, why this area? Well, this area of track has many advantages. It's close to where I'm staying for the weekend. It's one of the longest sidings along the main line. Signals can be seen from both ends, so that's a plus. Trains meet here a lot, and I do mean a lot. But here's the one thing, it can also be used as a runaround track, and I think this is why this siding was also installed. Also located here is the Tyson Food Grain Elevator. Local trains and even unit grain trains can occupy the main line when delivering and removing the grain hoppers. If they are not beyond the switch, dispatch can send trains through the siding to pass. So those are all the good points, and I count on this area. But the one thing I was not counting on was the weather. Temperatures in the upper 40s, light to moderate rainfall, and a constant wind that will gust every now and then. And here I am wearing a short sleeve hoodie and a thin pair of jogging pants. Yeah, I did not prepare for this. Looking at North End Bartlett, a train is lined up to come through. It was passing through a slow order further south, but here it comes up the hill, M601. 601 is a daily manifest coming out of Rice Yard, Waycross. It's taking its lovely scenic route to get west to Gentilly Yard in New Orleans. To do this, it has to travel north by northwest through Georgia, then south by southwest through Alabama to get to its destination. Before this train came up the hill, it was on the radio with someone else saying, "We're playing a game of leapfrog." So no doubt there is another train in the area, and my guess it's down there in Oglethorpe Yard. Soon as 601 cleared the block, take a look at that. Restricted signal. Yeah, this train, whoever it is behind them, is right behind me and getting ready to come up the hill because it already knocked down South End Bartlett. Just as its headlights appear, the restricting signal now is an approach. And slowly coming at me, this is local L741, light engine move, for now anyway. When hearing this ID, I think back to the alternate schedule of the southbound juice train. It used to be known as Q741, but running on alternate schedule, it was L741. I was about to wrap it up. That was until seeing the signal aspect for southbound. It's currently an approach, but the other band of rain was moving in, and I was really not in the mood of staying around. But I'm going to weather it, no pun intended. Now in approach limited, here comes an auto rack train, M221. Both units leading were a AC44CW. After a rebuild program that has them back on the tracks, they are now a CM44AC and a CW44AH. .221 comes from Boyle's Yard in Birmingham, Alabama, on its way to Rice Yard, Waycross. And believe me, this is an auto rack train. But thanks to PSR, Precision Scheduled Railroading, it's hauling a lot of pipes and some miscellaneous freight. So I'm sure there's some racks in there somewhere. And there they are. Only 3, but hey, it's an auto rack train. The signals were set for another train to come south, but the rain was just too much for me, so for now, I'm out. Okay, back at the tracks on another day and here in the city of Cordele, Georgia. This is where the Fitzgerald Sub crosses the Macon district of Norfolk Southern and the Heart of Georgia Railroad. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but it feels a lot colder and extra windy, but my timing was good. Okay, better yet, I was cutting it close, real close. Here comes some empty ethanol, B828. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go to the nearest store and grab a sweater. Then I'll be back on the road. Stay tuned. I got that sweater from the store, as I said. Now in the town of Lilly, milepost A and B 711.11. This is one of the double-tracked areas of the subdivision. B828, seen earlier, is already here waiting at the north end. But looking south, someone else is coming and will be coming from the single main on the track too. Then I hear another horn. I think this is the train everyone's getting out of the way of, and here it comes. Mixed Freight M602 from New Orleans. There goes the mixed freight on its way to Waycross, while 828 is leaving track 2 onto the single main. Now, I'm not sure who the other train is on track 2, but I guess I'll find out later. But right now, I'm going to do some leapfrogging. Now, back at Bartlett and looking at that high green on the north end, I know who this is for because I just happened to get ahead of him once again. B828. Oh yeah, there was one other thing I love about this area. It's the track speed, which is 55. And watching speeding trains always brings out the kid in me. Thinking the signal would do its slow aspect improvement, nothing happened. I know there's another northbound right behind this empty ethanol train. And speaking of which, I heard it call approach south in Ideal. So there is another train in the picture, but coming the other way. Well, whoever is in Ideal siding has to wait a little bit longer. North Bartlett goes from approach to clear, and the train is already going through Oglethorpe. And here it comes. Some intermodal action from Jack's Ramp, I-142. Now it's time to let that southbound loose. But hearing the crew call medium approach medium, which is red over yellow over flashing green, I don't think this train's going to get far. If my guess is right and my railroading knowledge still serves me, North End Bartlett should be showing a medium approach, which means he will be coming in the siding right here. Let's find out. All right, my guess was correct. Coming into view, this is M221. It runs daily out of Birmingham coming south, and it is another day. And like before, it's pulling mostly mixed freight. So let's just see how many auto racks will be on this one. There they are. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, it's better than yesterday, so that's an improvement. Well, with everything set, M221 is well into the siding with room to spare. And looking behind me, I'm seeing nothing lined to go north. So instead of a meet, is it an overtake? I did hear something approach North End Oglethorpe as well as South End Bartlett. Then later find out there's a train working Oglethorpe Yard right now but had to stretch all the way out towards South End Bartlett. The head end met nose to nose with M221. On a different track, of course. Clouds are starting to clear, The signal's now showing a clear, and coming up the hill is that long-distance local, as I call it anyway, L729. Now, here's why I call it the long-distance local. L729 comes from Winston Yard, that being in Winston, Florida, south of Lakeland. The train comes with a really long line of empty rock hoppers after working Wildwood, Baldwin, and Waycross. And it does remind me of the now abolished K900 unit rock trains back in the day. Now with 729 clear, M221 proceeds on south. Usually around this hour, this is what I call the break in the action. So I guess I could slip away and grab something to eat. And, okay, I guess food's gonna wait a bit. Look at that approach signal right there. Relocating a quarter of a mile to the north, I'm here at the spur going into the Southern Wood Suppliers. It leads off into the woods into a loading area tucked away back there. I've seen locals work this area quite often, but not today. Whoever is coming south must be close by because the signal aspect has improved to an approach limited. But when I looked back a few minutes later, it went back to red. This is a tactic dispatch calls taking away. So I guess no train for now, and I guess grub is back on the menu. I'll be back later. Okay, let's pick up where we left off. Back here at the spur going into Southern Wood Suppliers. And looking further back there, there's something going on, but I cannot make out what it is. The southbound train I thought that wasn't coming through did such. It did a little bit later and is now in Bartlett siding. And it's meeting a train coming north, and it's about to knock down North End Bartlett. And coming around the corner, we get some Bone Valley traffic, and sporting some CP units. This is B211. Taking a look at the sidetrack there, that is M203 out of Osborne Yard, Louisville, Kentucky. And coming up the hill with the throttle almost wide open, this is M605 heading to New Orleans. And looking at the info there, this is my second time catching the ST-78H leading. A quick gas up and now back. The sun is starting to get lower, so that means the shadows are getting longer. But the north end was showing an approach limited for something coming south. And on its way to my hometown, Savannah, Georgia, this is I-125. Not sure why, but each time I look at Tyson Food Grain Elevator, it almost looks like it wants to have a photo taken. The lighting is perfect and it just pops. It is now sunset and one more train is in the picture. But it was lined up for so long, I think he was coming from probably Manchester with no problems, maybe even further north. But here it is, on its way to Jack's Ramp, I-143. That'll do it for my weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as well. But feel free to like and subscribe. And here in Bartlett, milepost A and B 732.3 on the Fitzgerald Sub. Thanks for watching. Until the next milepost.